All right, hello everyone, and welcome to episode 42 of Syncing with ServiceNow. My name is Eddie McDonald. I am here with Mike Sabia. Hello, Mike.
Hey, Eddie,
Did you just wave at me out on podcast?
I think I just held my hand up,
Uh,
kind of like a big high five.
all right, that's awesome. Okay, so this is an audio podcast, so Mike just high-fived me in the video. So hello everyone. Let me get the commercial out of the way. We are XenTegra, your ServiceNow partner for all things licensing, resales, and implementation services. We consider ourselves one of the most mature young partners in the ecosystem with a very tenured architect and development team. So if you need any professional services or help with your renewals or additional modules, we are the folks you need to talk to. So with that, today we are talking about a blog from Kenneth Baxter. If I'm butchering his name, but the name of his blog is Celebrating 5 Consecutive Years as a Low-Code Leader. They've got a little grid here, a magic quadrant from Gartner, and it shows ServiceNow, and obviously in the top right, the leaders category, surrounded by a couple other systems that don't do what ServiceNow does. But today, we're going to talk about the years as a low-code leader. Mike, anything to add before we jump in?
No, I mean, ServiceNow has been building towards this for a number of years, as you said, 5 years. We'll touch on a couple of things and be a quick, nice review.
Okay, so his got a couple paragraphs here, kind of introduced the blog. He says, "I'm thrilled to announce that ServiceNow has been recognized as a leader in the 2024 Gartner Magic Quadrant for Enterprise Low-Code Application Platforms for the 5th consecutive year. We believe this recognition is an acknowledgement of our unwavering commitment to empower organizations with the low-code tools they need to thrive in today's business environment. As the world continues to evolve, so do the needs of organizations across industries. Our mission has always been to stay updated on the changes and help ensure our customers have the most advanced toolbox at their fingertips. For us, being named a leader acknowledges our position in the dynamic low-code landscape and reinforces our dedication to our customers." So the first segment here is powering enterprise transformation. And they talk about the low code space as the app engine. Mike, give me your thoughts on ServiceNow's app engine.
I think it's really fantastic. I mean, stepping back from App Engine a little bit, ServiceNow is built on workflows, and it's been fantastic. And back in the day, you could customize ServiceNow however you wanted to, which was fantastic. But as ServiceNow evolved, it needed to be able to protect applications from each other. And the application development capabilities started having these application scopes where you can develop a tool that is distinct, that has its protections that other portions of ServiceNow cannot access. It has its own licensing in order to build things, and you can build beyond what ServiceNow was originally intending. It's fantastic.
Very good. Yes. And you're right. I mean, at its core, it's about, for those of you who don't know, ServiceNow has an update twice a year, typically, historically, twice a year. And during these upgrades, you'll get what's called a skip report. And these skip reports are usually because you've changed something along the way, and that change is not going to embrace whatever new functionalities included in the update. So what Mike was speaking to, making sure that all the applications talk to each other, from my understanding, and Mike is far more technical than I am, from my understanding, using this low code and no code, letting the platform build the code for you, makes your future upgrades and your future code seemingly bulletproof. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, I mean, there's always nuances, but yes, ServiceNow has a lot of capabilities to make life easier, and that even for a full-time developer, there are tools to facilitate what they want to do. But there are other capabilities which allow for non-developers or people who play with things that are fun, or people who need to help out, the larger development team to get their stuff done, the report, a layout. All those things are available for people who are not full-time programmers to configure the system to their needs.
Gotcha. So as with every blog over the last 12 months, they step into generative AI.
Mhm.
And low code, no code is obviously having AI assist with that is a big deal. Now, they call out Now Assist for Creator. And yeah, I haven't played around with this a lot in the platform, but what I do know about it is it's really kind of cool. You've got an AI chatbot that says, we'll walk you through some questions. What is it you're trying to build? And it will try to filter down. And as you go in, you can start to create playbooks and workflows and all of this through natural language. Mike, have you got to experiment with Now Assist for Creator much?
I have a little bit for sure. Um, for those people who've been using AI over the last year, and Eddie's right, ServiceNow is pushing AI and AI and AI. The idea is rather than having to start at scratch, let ServiceNow start with the foundation. Ask you the question, hey, what tables do you want? What do you want to accomplish? And it can build that initial framework, which it can adjust for your own needs.
Gotcha. So, and then it goes into, tools for developers of all skills. The App Engine suite of tools adjust to all skill levels by providing access to the development tool set most appropriate for each individual, which is pretty cool. So depending on who you are and your role within an organization, you'll have access to different elements that you can build on. And then it talks specifically about the business users can use Creator Studio. So talk a little bit about the Creator Studio for those folks who don't have much exposure to it.
Well, right. I mean, I spoke a moment ago about the fact that you can create these own application scopes, your own application, and the Creator Studio is around that to be able to define, what you need, the tables, the definitions, any UI around that, permissions for one scope to read another.
Got it. Got it.
It used to be a lot of hands-on stuff, but the studio facilitates that creation. In
Right.
the a low code no code is not just about non-developers who are developing. It also is tools to make your life easier, to facilitate that effort without having to pull out that coding hat and work on that.
Right. And there will be a point where the no code, low code runs into a wall. And if the workflows you're creating are complex, then you might have to, like you said, put on your coding hat and finish something like that. But either way, either an experienced developer or somebody just as a business user can start their process using this, and then the advanced developer can finish up with code if it is complex.
Absolutely. And it helps just the regular developer as well, just to kickstart what they're doing. But as with all AI, you need to verify. You can't simply say, hey, do this, it looks good, turn it on. No, you're not going to go to production until you have a true developer look at that, at least in
Right.
many cases.
And again, it's been a minute since I've had my hands on keyboards, but I think the big takeaway from a development perspective is it removes almost 100% of the syntax errors. It's going to write it right out of the box. You're not going to have to go proofread your own code.
In many factors, yes.
Yeah. So there's a big screen right here in the middle of this blog. It says, whether you're addressing the challenges of manufacturing, financial services, telecommunications, the global public sector, or any other major industry, App Engine lets anyone automate company-specific manual processes, which is really cool because that's ServiceNow in a bucket across the platform as well. We are not industry specific. I've done work with multi-unit fast food organizations, global communication companies. I did a franchise car wash company. There's really, depending if you meet the minimums of what is necessary to utilize ServiceNow, there's really not an industry that I can think of that can't benefit. It, Let me qualify that. There is one. I was working on a deal out of Texas, a very, very large, well-known chicken company. Name doesn't matter. They had 11,000 employees. They had 2 people in IT. That was it. It was just a chicken ranch. So there are some industries that don't benefit even if they've got the people. But generally speaking, across the workspace, you can benefit from utilizing ServiceNow.
For sure.
So versatile platform, broad application at ServiceNow. Our customers are at the heart of everything we do. Their success stories inspire us, continuously innovate and push the boundaries of what's possible with the Now platform. I think these next two sections are a little bit of a thank you to the customers and kind of a just a little bit of let me see, closely listening to our customers. We continue to grow. Yeah, a little bit about who we are and how we're growing. Not much more around the low code and no code in this blog. Anything you want to share to kind of wrap up, Mike?
I mean, I think this article's good, but there's so much to talk about that, you need to choose to talk about everything or talk about the highlights. And this article kind of talks about the highlights. But I just want to emphasize that in addition to having, your App Studio and your applications, there's a lot of other things that ServiceNow has been doing in order to facilitate developing and extending ServiceNow, including the process automation designer, where you say, hey, I want to do this, this, and this. I need my people to follow these steps. You can use a process automation designer, which is again low code, to define those, facilitate the users. So there's a lot of use cases, and you might be thinking today and listen to this that, oh, this means this, but it also means so much more. And that's where XenTegra can come and speak with you and help you understand how you can extend and benefit from the full product suite.
Yeah. Yeah, and as I'm kind of thinking through this, I've never really given it a lot of deep thought about the low code, no code and the business impact other than just the convenience of not having to filter everything through IT. But if you think about it from a cost perspective, your IT folks might be a more expensive resource and they might have a backlog. So you as a business user needs an application to be built that is relatively low or no code. You could do it yourself within your own department. You're going to get the results faster. You're going to save IT's queue a little bit, and the cost of building that, because it's kept within your department and not in IT's group, will be far lower as well. So it's good for the business. Having low code across the spectrum is just, it's good dollars and cents. On top of that, it also brings more people onto the platform. So now you're just not a ticket creator, you're actively involved in building out your business.
Right. Now, that's not to say you're going to say, oh, let's low code, no code, we need less ServiceNow developers. The ServiceNow developers absolutely have a place. There absolutely needs to be that oversight. But, and particularly in a large organization, we have so many different asks, and as Eddie was alluding to, very, very busy, the ability to start it and then vet it, or, keep some constraints about what they could add and get them excited about utilizing the product for their own needs. It's pretty exciting for everybody.
Yeah, I tried to figure out a way to say this diplomatically to somebody once, but they tried to do a self-implementation for a net new implementation of the ServiceNow platform. And it's almost like having yourself as an attorney. It's just, there's too many moving parts. There's a lot that goes into it. There's process discussions. We're not impacted by politics or squeaky wheels. We're always going to tell you the truth and what we know from our experience. So to your point, Mike, there's always a point where a good outside developer is necessary to make sure that your platform stays healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so with that, Mike, Sabia, thank you very much. For those of you who don't know, Mike is a certified master architect. He is a rock star in the ecosystem, so we love having Mike join us on these calls. So thank you, Mike, for that. With that, we will wrap up. Again, this is Syncing with ServiceNow, and we look forward to hearing from you. If you have any ServiceNow needs, you can reach out to XenTegra, and we're happy to help. You guys have a great day. Bye.